water and it makes your cells athletic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
Hello, hello, happy Saturday. I am Carolyn, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. As you are coming in, please go ahead and share the live. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. So please go ahead and share the live. We would so much appreciate it. And as you come in, please let us know that you are here by dropping a comment and saying hello, good morning. Let us know that you're here, okay? We would really appreciate it. We will be discussing meat substitute aim for mainstream. Those are some of the things that we'll be talking about. Also, Kellogg's removing artificial dyes from their cereal, and then eating the same meals every day may cause these traits. We will find out what those are. So now, Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage. Hello, good morning to you.
Gladly, gladly. Good morning to you, Carolyn. It's really wonderful to be here. I
Yes.
want to talk about a few things that we are some things I think that we haven't really come to reality with, and that is that things are going to continue to develop. It's still things are going to we're going to change things. It's not going to remain the same. You know, technology changes. I mean, the style of the car changes. Our trends changes in the way that we walk, even the way that we talk, what we wear,
Mhm.
all of those things change it, but doggone it, when it comes to food, people just think like, we still should eat like primitive people, and that we don't know any better. It's like, for some reason. So we want to just get into that a little bit, take a deep dive, and just not too deep. I think I'll keep it in the shallow, keep it into the low, and not deep side of the pool. But let's go ahead and get into it, because this is going to be quite interesting, especially for those of us that are getting started on plant-based foods. And a shout out to everybody that is here this morning. Yay! The ones that came in, that got up, that's listening, that's sharing the message, and those people that are making this whole thing work. So thank you very much from myself, and I'm sure Carolyn too.
Absolutely. Shout out to Yolanda. I see you there.
Yay!
All right. All right.
Yay! Yolanda is definitely always. I know you all. Everybody probably knows Yolanda by now. As we say, we definitely give a shout out, a well-deserved shout out every week, and
Yes.
we love you, Yolanda. Let's go ahead and get also just a few people that are over here on our um, Instagram, and let's start off with unheld. It's just unheld. So UNHAELL. So there's so much creativity with the people that are we're fortunate enough to cross paths with. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, when we get down to plant-based foods, um, one of the very first thing that comes to mind for me would be mushrooms, and I'll talk a little bit about that, because the mushrooms, they're part of the big changes that are being made when it comes to health foods. And these plant foods trends, they're being shaped by mostly the flexitarian consumers and health focused workers, and not so much the dietary ideology. The global brands are just responding with products built around taste, and that's the way that is pretty much going to be. And now we're going a little bit deeper, because we get into the texture and we're getting into how things appear. And I think that if we really look at it, our five senses are vulnerable to the marketing of plant-based food trends. So we start off with the mushroom mania, and I mean when it comes to the mushrooms, we're talking about button mushrooms, lion's mane. We're talking about king oyster, and the different varieties of rishis. All of these are just storming the kitchen these days because they're great ways to substitute meat. They're great meat substitutes. I think that we're still in the beginning stages, so we still add too much salt and we add too much oil, and those kinds of things will adjust as time goes on. But many times when we're in transition, what we do is we hold on to some of those things that we've been doing for years. But when you think about mushrooms, you can think about some of the things, and I think that you have to have it in your mind that things like, for instance, shrimp. And if you're eating shrimp, you might have a certain mushroom that gives you that feeling that could fool even a seafood lover. And that is what we see also when it comes to the different types of meat, burger meat, and so forth. Now, it's another very surprising cream, butter, if you will, that is, I mean, it's not that popular. It will be even more popular as time goes on, but it's called watermelon seed butter. Now, you can move over almond butter because I'm telling you, the watermelon seed butter is definitely coming. Watermelon seed butter has crashed the entire um, um, alternative spread party, the whole alternative spread party, because you have other spreads also other than the watermelon seed butter. Now, this is unexpected. It's an unexpected delight that packs more protein than almond butter and without the environmental baggage. That's the good thing. We don't wreck our ecosystem by using this. So slather it on toast and blend it into smoothies. And you can also use this as a base for that dreamy plant based sauces. There's another, you can also think about mayo. So, those of you that like to use mayonnaise, you'll find that the uh, watermelon seed butter may be taking this place or is just a very good uh, alternative to other foods that we see constantly and that we use commonly. All right. So we want to go next to the seaweed revolution. When we talk about the seaweed revolution, uh, what was that? Okay. Energy. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. Yes. But you can go. Come in. It's a conversation. So you and I can definitely go ahead. I know it's still early, but yeah, I'd love for your input. So let's go back to the seaweed. Now we just had this kind of revolution where everybody was talking about the different types of sea moss, and um, some people I hated on it immediately because it had to do with a certain activist. Rest in peace. But that it really when people start to look into the sea moss and find out that it was rich with all types of iodine, vitamins, minerals, and it just really is. a really good nutrient um, supplier. So the benefits are there. The salty, umami-rich seafood is making tidal waves like beyond sushi rolls and dosei, nori, and kelp. They all are showing up in everything from pasta to plant-based baking alternatives. So not just delicious, but these are ocean vegetables, and they do have sustainability. They're sustainability superstars, and these they can actually grow without fresh water, fertilizer, or land. So you have a whole different way of farming and a way of eating. Then we go on to the next. We have other foods, as you see the texture changing in the different burgers, the texture changing in the food, even the breads. There's different crackers and on and on. But we want to go into, like, if we, since we're here, some of the meat substitutes. And I think what I'll do is I'll come back around to that. But for right now, I want to go back to up to Carolyn, and let's have a little discussion about some of the transitioning from the way that you eat now to the way that you can change. Okay. All right. Care, one of the things that I see that is quite it's quite normal, and that is that a lot of people, even if they don't eat, they're not a vegetarian, they're eating like a vegetarian.
Yes.
They if they don't, they add just for a difference, just for maybe even a lighter difference or more fiber or whatever they're doing. They are using some of the foods that are out. Now, some people will say, no, that's a process, that's this, that's that. As I said at the beginning of the show, is things are going to change.
Hmm.
Things we got to change, and everything must change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. So it's going to you. We're people that we advance because we use our brains. Some people get upset again because they're like, no, I always ate butter and I'm going to keep eating butter until the day I die. I'm like, well, what's the rush? It's really incredible that people have that kind of mindset to keep hurting themselves, although they know that they are raising the risk, increasing the risk of infection, of illness, and of death. If you give a person the choice between eating something delicious and working out, yeah, we're going to work out to stay in good shape, or are we going to eat to stay in good shape? Well, of course, you got more um, choices than that, but most of the time, people end up getting larger, even if they're eating, because they eat the old way of eating, too much on the plate. Their portions are
Hmm.
way out of control. They eat all through the day, or they're nibbling on something. And then they just X out the exercise because they think that eating alone is going to do it. It's not going to do it.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's not going to do it. We have to combine those four ingredients: exercise, nutrition, sleep, environment.
Hmm.
These are important things to keep in mind. Remember those things. Kara, what do you think?
No, I absolutely agree. Or you see a lot of people doing it the other way, where they'll work out, and because social media is such a look at me kind of thing, they're working out and it's like, hey, look at me on the treadmill, look at me here, but then they go and they eat the those
Yeah.
other things with all the oils and all those things. So it becomes an issue whenever you don't align, like you say, align the things that need to be, everything needs to be in place for you to be able to get that um, correctly done. But one thing that you mentioned, Dr. Zarif, is watermelon seed butter. I was like, huh? What? I haven't heard of that one. So I need to go ahead and look that up. And it sounds like it would taste really good. It does.
Yeah, watermelon butter. It actually is. There's watermelon seed butter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really incredible because one thing I think that people would really like this because all of those seeds that we just kind of throw away
Yes.
now you can put them into you can get this another use out of because they're nutrient dense,
Mm-hmm.
and this is really really good, especially when it comes to the protein. It packs more protein than the almond butter.
Okay.
So this is really really great, and people, I think I have the level of eating, and I like to. I'm not super classy about certain foods and all that stuff. I think cooking is one of those things that you push your sleeves up and you enjoy it once you put it together.
Mm-hmm.
But I am very particular about with the food that I'm eating. What is it going to become when it's broken down?
Oh.
And if you look at food, Carolyn, you get a idea when you, for me anyway, I should just speak for me. When I think about food, I think about the composition of food.
Mm-hmm.
Every food that we eat is broken down to a composition of chemicals, and those chemicals then react with the body, meaning that we absorb them. They play a part in what we secrete. They play a part in how we function, the physiology
Mm-hmm.
of our internal selves. So it's a whole different way. So I eat very consciously or mindfully because I can enjoy the food; it's delicious. But if I'm sitting up and I know I'm eating some cheese crackers, and the cheese crackers, I'm just holding them like a bag of chips and just eating one after the other, and I might dip into some sour cream or something like that. That is not that's for me, that's not thinking because I know that those are foods that will constipate.
Right.
So I don't put those in my body. If there's something that I want to taste, that's what I'll do. Taste it. Oh yeah, this is not bad. So that kind of thing. But if it's something that I'm overdoing that's so good, and I got cheese powder all over my face, and like, you have to wake up to eating better, folks, because when you don't do that, all we do is go from year to year talking a whole lot of BS and never changing. Now, some people really just say, "Oh, I heard the doctor say this, and I heard the doctor say that, and my doctor said this." It doesn't mean a damn thing if you're not doing anything about it. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting off your butt and doing something about it, what does it make any difference? So these shows that we give, the Mind of Nature, these are shows that we look into. We make sure that we have great sources. We make sure that we have plenty evidence. We make sure we have references because we know somebody's always after your neck. No, that's not true. That's not true. And the thing about it is that, look, do your due diligence and read. Do your due diligence and make sure that you're going to sit down and be quiet for a minute and listen to those people that have put their 10,000 plus hours in, and perhaps you can learn something.
Mm-hmm.
But also find the difference in the disinformation and the science. Science is the proof. Science is the evidence. That's all it is, and it's been proved. Um, this is something that happens with all people. It isn't just like you and your buddies that's like hanging around in the kitchen, to all people.
Mhm.
So if anybody eats too much salt, you're going to get high blood pressure eventually. If anybody that argues every day and screams and fusses and fights and throwing furniture around and just living in the chaotic world like that, eventually you're going to have some heart damaging. You're going to have some other, let's say, heart health problems.
Mhm.
So on and on, you have to be responsible for this stuff and not just like get some information. Oh, you know what I found out? I found out that that's great. That's great. But do your due diligence and then spread the news to those who like us. There are so many people that are wannabe nutritionists and they're horrible at it. The simple as that. I'm not going to even bite my words because you have to research. You got to find out the story or the backstory about some of the medications and contraindicators and the effect on perhaps the nervous system, the effect on maybe your bones or the skeletal system, things of that nature. Like for instance, if we're talking about osteomalacia or uh, arthritis or osteoporosis, in all those diseases you can connect with injuring the skeletal system. Find
Mhm.
out more about it. Find out more about it, and don't
Right.
sit back and just criticize. Like we have last week, I got a letter that was telling me that I need to stop having a guest on the show, no co-host, get to the point. They don't he or she said, I don't even know who the gender was, it doesn't matter. But this person was saying that, yeah, you need to just get to the point. Never said how, like what I've been doing, how that has helped. But people like to stay stuck in what they've always done. So some people are very, very comfortable just criticizing. I don't give a damn because I don't care. I really don't care about them. These are people that do not contribute to a damn thing that I do. So I don't get caught up in it. I have fun in sharing. I know this by what I'm doing works because your patients will tell you, your clients will tell you, and you have their medical history. You have a whole chart done on them. You have their records, and it shows step by step what has happened over the years. And these are people that used to be sick, but they're not sick anymore. And again, this is evidence. Evidence. I ain't talking about you and Ricky and Tata and Boom Boom. I'm talking about the things that we do in order to help you become a healthier person. And if you're high on making a lot of money, there's nothing new about that. We know that money just makes you more what you are already. And if you're high on having more stuff, if you're high on the just the monetary part of it, you're still going to have to be healthy in order to enjoy it.
Mhm.
You might work your butt into a little hole, like into a grave, and you're not, what's the use? I mean, this
Yeah.
is your life. Lastly, I'm going to say this, and that is those of you that are distracted by that Trump crap, don't let that dude steal away your life and your moments. When you see you're allowing Trump to live in your right up here in your brain and not paying rent. This dude is just up there just using up time. This is your life. And when you get older and start thinking about how fast this bad boy goes by, you'll see exactly what I mean by this is your life. This is a very, very short. And for you to give up like 4 years again, well, he was in office before, but the foolish folks uh, again voted him in, and the very ones that were helping him the most, it appears that that's the ones that he's hurting the most.
Mm.
That's a really horrible thing. Uh, Again, do not allow this dude is he's an entertainer. He's a TV actor. Um, he is definitely the most unqualified in comparing this dude with police. He reminds me of police, those the ones that come out and think they're the judge and the lawyer and the jury, and they're telling you all kinds of crap of why they're arresting you and pushing you around just because you're black or you're brown. So it's really one of those things that when we want to relax, going into another little, area of discussion, because nutrition is not just about talking about grapes and cucumbers and watermelon. It's about talking about and also utilizing the different types of science, putting these thoughts in motion, doing something about yourself because you can make yourself better. We have JJ out of Detroit. JJ is like he had, high blood pressure for the longest, and JJ is now not experiencing it anymore because he went through the different steps and was willing to also experiment with professional guidance, and that's what really and truly makes a difference. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep on with some of the information that's really important. Another thing that some people that are vegetarian and those people that are carnivores or carnivorous or meat eaters, uh, there is, I want to just say a good thing about the fish. If you look at fish, now I know that there's other things that may be not cool. We got to find out another way to do those things. But one of the things that we're going to continue doing is eating fish. Now, eating fish, for instance, I said earlier to Carolyn that when we're talking about fish, or we're talking about meat or any of those things, it is that food is broken down, and then there's a composition of omega-3 fatty acid, EPA and DHA, protein. You have vitamin D, you have the B vitamins, and you have selenium. And with all of this, this is something that um, keep that in mind, because fish is just not fish. Fish is also that composition of chemicals. The benefits of those chemicals, for instance, like with salmon, we talk about omega-3 fatty acids. That's the first thing that jumps to my mind when I talk about salmon. It's a real fatty fish, but it has the good fats in it, including the protein, vitamin D, the B vitamins, and the selenium. Now, the benefits would be your heart health. And heart health, this is super important. I'll talk about that a little more later. Brain function is important. Anti-inflammatory properties are important, and it also supports bone health. That's what salmon does when it's broken down the composition. I know people trip on, I don't eat salmon. I don't. Well, see, I can think about it in a way that will perhaps help you to understand what it is when it's broken down and how it's used in your body, as I just went over. And then there's tuna, also known as tuna fish. It's kind of redundant, but anyway, the nutrients are the lean protein, vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin. Really, when you're talking about heart health, cyanocobalamin is very important. We can get into that later. Selenium again, and then omega-3 fatty acids. And that's why people actually eat more tuna and more salmon today, because you now we're finding out through studies that omega-3 fatty acids helps to protect against brain problems, the different cognitive problems, thinking, memory, those things is very important, and also the shrinking of the brain itself as we age. So get those vitamins, get the lean protein, but get the omega 3s in your body because the omega 3s are very important when it comes to brain health. So that's the fish, and the fish goes on with like sardines and mackerel and cod. All of these are different fish with nutrients, but guess what? Practically, well, I know all the ones that I just mentioned, with the exception of cod. Let me see. Cod, yeah, with the exception of cod, I would say are really good sources of omega 3 fatty acids. And then there is shellfish. Shellfish. Now, the shellfish, like we're talking about shrimp and crab, we're also talking about lobster, we're talking about clams, mussels, and oysters. All of these are seafoods. And again, we have similar benefits in the shellfish. Some people are allergic to this, but the to shellfish, but you can get the benefits of brain health and thyroid support. Now, a lot of people have problems with thyroxine. You should look more into that to find out how can you eat certain portions to help to eliminate that problem. Also, there's no, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, there was a question about is there a PowerPoint to show for it, but no, not yet. I'll put it right now on seafood. It's just kind of going off what we were talking about earlier. But anyway, the shellfish is really important here, and again, the seafood altogether. Again, keep this in mind more than the name of the seafood itself, and that is that seafoods are rich in omega 3 fatty acids. I know vegans are going to like, oh, he's tripping. He's talking about eating seafood. Everybody is not like you. Everybody is not like you. You are a person that have made the decision to eat in a certain way, and I respect that, and other people respect that. And now, if you feel bad that people don't do like you do, don't hate them just because they're not like you. I think you should respect them more and say, hey, you got a different thing than me. I don't believe what you believe. You don't believe what I believe. But we're not the same people. We're not the same person. We don't have the same background. And it would be, to me, the world would be such a better world if we just realize that people are different and it is okay to be different. So let's think about seafood. If you're going to eat that, and most people are going to eat it, some people don't, but if you do, and that is my job when it comes to nutrition, to give you more information so that you can make more informed decisions. Again, these seafoods are rich in omega 3 fatty acids, and that again, omega 3 fatty acids helps to support the heart and the brain. Just remember, omega 3 fatty acids, heart and brain. And then there's a high quality protein for muscle repair and growth. And we need that on a daily basis. And then we have like the vitamins and minerals. Vitamin B12, vitamin D, you hear about these all the time, especially those that are plant based. Selenium, zinc, iodine. And it may help to reduce the inflammation and lower the risk of chronic diseases. I'm going to go back up to Care and we'll continue. Care?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. I appreciate that. Um,
What is going on back there?
I, Let's say hi to some people here that has
Okay.
joined us here today.
You crack
We
me
are
up.
live. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying how you crack me up sometimes.
We are live every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And just want to say we appreciate everyone that joins us here in the Mind of Nature. So let me just go ahead and shout out some people here. Dee Dee says, good morning. Good morning to you. Dee Dee,
DD.
thank you so much for joining us. I so much appreciate it. Denise Kane, hello,
Yeah.
hello. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Allison Gentle, good morning,
Oh
family.
yeah.
And Daphne Gentle, good morning to
Woo-hoo.
you because he says we are both here, and I know you are.
All
Glenn
right.
Johnson, hello, great morning to all. More powerful information for the journey. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you so much for dropping by. We appreciate you. Glenn was
Glenn Johnson.
he was talking about the watermelon seed butter. Yeah, that was a new one for me. I hadn't heard about that, so now I got to look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's more than that. We just don't have enough time to go over the some of the latest things that are, and that's what we do here on the Mind of Nature. So there you go, Karen.
Yes. Michelle Franklin, hello, hello. Good morning to you. Good
Michelle.
morning. Good morning, fam. I miss you guys. Keep the info coming. We need you guys more than ever. Our health depends on it. Love you both. Love you back. Thank you so much for joining us,
Levy,
Michelle.
Levy, Levy.
We sure do appreciate it. There is a question or a comment here from Denise Kane.
Oh, okay.
And she says, can you speak to the shrimp recall?
Yeah, we can speak to that. That is shrimp recall is just like most of the different foods that are exposed to different bacteria. And if you look at the news, like lately, shrimp recall is about. There's a lot of things. The
I know
different.
it was like listeria, that being
Yeah.
one of
Yes. So
the
that's
things.
one of the bacterium when it comes to bacterium. But there's also Shigella. There's Salmonella. There's E. coli, and there's cross contamination with that comes with that also. So I would say, yeah, it's just when that's going to happen when you have humans and you combine the humans with food sometimes because some people are, and not on purpose, but sometimes
Mhm.
people are not in. They might have a board. They're hungry, and they're like, they'll just run some water over it, and it's cold water, and which doesn't do anything to bacteria. And then they start working on the board, and then people start getting sick and having diarrhea and throwing up all everything. So they it's good to remember those things that I said at the very beginning here, and that is like some of the things that are basic, like washing your hands, making sure you wash the space down that you are working in, using some of the different types of hand sanitizers or with an alcohol base. Those are some of the things, and not when you're even simple things like let me taste this. mm, get a tasting spoon that you go into the food and eat that, and then don't use the spoon that you're cooking with to dip back into it. You see what I mean? Nobody likes that, but some people do it and nobody dies. But guess what? You do increase your risk. Again, you increase your risk for colds and flu and all the other things that come with that particular bacteria.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for breaking that down, Dr. Zari.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. So, okay. All right. You ready?
yes,
Let's go into the next part of here. Um, Let me just set up. So while I'm setting this up, I wanted to. Uh, okay, good. I'm there. I just wanted to just talk about the different meat substitutes. And when it comes to the different meat substitutes, you have like jackfruit, for instance. Okay, so jackfruit. This is one of the most popular uh, sandwiches that we have today. Mm, that are meat substitutes. Now, this is used quite frequently. Think about it as this, there's a lot of frying going on there. But again, we take this step by step. So this will help you uh, um, be ready because the meat substitutes, they actually aim for the mainstream, and I mean they're coming fast too. A lot of the um, rethinking of how they actually produce the market for meat substitutes is a real serious issue. They continue, and I'm talking about scientists and doctors, with this constant way of replacing meat. So even when people are buying these burgers and steaks and all the different types of meat, they are also um, um, they're doing something that's healthy for them, and they're doing things that they think that'll make them feel better, but they're still looking for that taste of meat. So a lot of the foods that we are replacing meat with, we return to those same uh, seasonings in order to get closer to the taste of that meat. Now, these new products are designed not to replace meat entirely, but actually to make or to reduce the meat eating easier for people. So, as an alternative, because people get real defensive. I'm going to eat my meat. I understand that. I understand that you're going to never, ever, ever, never stop eating meat. People made themselves clear with that. However, that's not the only thing on the planet that you can eat, and you can also do this as an addition or an alternative to what you've been eating. Now, whether through mushroom blends or fermentation based dairy or meat plant hybrids, the goal is to scale without sacrificing the eating experience. And that's what you don't want to do, because then you kind of, okay, I don't like this. I'm not having fun. I'm not getting that euphoria that I'm looking for. Then you have the another take over here is this like cheesy, see this cheesy pizza. All of that is plant, and it didn't even melt at first. When that came out, it was just like so hard, and these are just some of the things that we've made better since we've been constantly growing. The plant base isn't just a one size fits all. Uh, that's clear than ever in the way of local ingredients are reshaping the global products. In places like Mexico, you have the cactus. The cactus itself is now, cacti is becoming a base for the meat alternatives. And in Spain, you have the chickpea cheeses, and which have grown 4.2% in social discussions over the last year. And you also have legume forward snacks, and they're trending now. Check out India. India has a millet based dairy and a pea protein blend, which are you will find like in some of the protein drinks now, pea protein and millet-based dairy, like your yogurt, sour cream, so forth. Okay, these are just formats that don't mimic meat. They actually celebrate the regional culinary traditions. That's key. That they're celebrated, because the food product innovation is no longer just about replication. It's about relevance. Okay, now I want to go on to, this is something that I think that you will find quite, this is something new also. And for those of you that go out, you may have seen this already. This is the banana blossom fish. Now, you see, this is deep fried, nevertheless, very popular banana, along with fries and dip, looking like maybe a fried cod or something of that nature. But these are some of the experiments that are going on, and some people find them to be absolutely delicious. And that is the banana blossom fish. Um, so I think right now, some of the things that when you hear the watermelon seed butter, and now the blossom fish, the banana blossom fish, banana real important because you can see the shape of the banana, but that crust on the outside of the banana. And this again is becoming popular, very, very popular. Now, the cheese that you see right now, all of these are like more like the delicatessen cheeses, but this is all soy and millet and seitan and other different sources of protein to make these lunch looking meats like lunch meat. And that again, that's variety. Sometimes you can, like if you're having lunch meat and you are unfortunately caught up in a recall, this can be really injurious to your body. Now, I wanted to go into a little bit about the different teams, but I think I'll just go. I'll get into that later. But here, as we're going through this, I wanted you to see some of the things. See these, all of these foods here, the little meatballs and burgers here, and you also have other snacks that are made out of the same materials, and tofu, and then plant milk. All of these are foods that you'll find that are quite common. Don't get away from the plants. You see this, you have just a parsley over here, then you have just a couple of, just a little sprinkle of green. Keep the green up. Green is really, really important here. This is other, you got your sea salt over here, and you got your endive here, and you have probably some peas or something like that, or it seems like peppercorns. And this is really great for those that want to replace perhaps a steak, and that's when, especially around uh, Christmas and uh, turkey, Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And then we have the burgers again. See, all of this is looks so much like meat. Is not. It's again. This is like an example of how some of the meat patties are actually grown, and they start this off in the lab. So there you have it. I wanted to go over a couple of more things with you too, because this. Did you hear the latest about Kellogg's that says that they're going to remove the artificial dyes from cereal by the end of 2027? That's right around the corner. Now, right now, about 95% of the food is said to be not without, the artificial dyes. Well, WK Kellogg Company has announced that they will stop using the artificial dyes in its breakfast cereals by the end of 2027, according to the statement from the company. Now, the maker of Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks, Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispie, they just named, uh, they just brought this out early, that they're evolving uh, portfolio. They need to make some changes because it's been the same for years, and to provide the customers with more of what they want and need, such as whole grains, fiber, and less of what they don't want, which is the sugar and the dyes. So this is actually very good news. So we look at some of the things like this, and you see the different types of chips and all the other things. And this is very important that you give. I mean, if you're really serious about it, like today, the vast majority, for instance, 85% of the uh, cereal sales, they contain no FD&C colors, and none of our products have contained or none of their products have contained red number three. Remember red number three? Red number three was really popular for red pop or red sodas, and they finally stopped using that years ago. Kellogg said that in their statement making the announcement, we are committed to continue working with HHS and FDA to identify effective solutions to remove FD&C colors from foods. That's good. I mean, that's good news. He's in business, or they're in business today, and they want to stay in business, but they're doing something now to also change that profile. Kellogg pledged that they will be reformulating their cereals served in schools. Now, this is really great because this is the first that I've heard of Kellogg or any other of these groups that are talking about fiber. And this is really good because fiber is very necessary. 9 out of every 10 people have some kind of digestive disorder. But moving along here, they Kellogg expects to end these colors by 2026 to 2027 school year, and that they will not be launching any new products with FD&C colors beginning in January 2026, and that they plan on removing all, that's all FD&C colors from their products by the end of 2027, according to their announcement. So this is good news again. Okay, back to Care. And Care, we what you think about this color thing? Do you believe them, or is it just another way to sell something new?
Well, I mean, I think it's great. I believe that they will remove the artificial dyes and everything else. I do believe that, but you do have to ask your question outside of the artificial dyes. What else are they still going to keep in there, or are there anything else that they can remove as well?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point because remember everybody was talking about soda, for instance, and it's like with no sugar,
Hmm.
uh, non-sugar this, non-sugar that, but they
Right.
substituted. They didn't say there wasn't sugar, but it was a sweetener.
Hmm.
And that's just like, what? I thought a sweetener is a sugar. Sugar is a sweetener. Not in this case. It's there, so they can play games. It is important that we keep our eyes on that label reading. That's we did a dedicated entire show to, or we talked about labels not too long ago. Always, it doesn't go out of style. Read it and see exactly what's in it.
Right.
And this is when you're eating something, you want to know again what you're eating so that you also have an idea of the composition of chemicals that is broken down to. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to shout out really. Let me. I'm saying really fast, but got a shout out. James Norman says, awesome content, Dr. Farid and Sister Carolyn, just catching up. Thank you so much for joining us, James. We do appreciate it. He says, fake foods are everywhere. If you live in this country, you can't avoid it without being intentional. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And this is, I mentioned JJ earlier today. This is James. And I mentioned him earlier today, the good work that he's doing in Detroit and constantly spreading the word about health. And this is really, really beautiful because it's such a great gift to give to someone. It costs you nothing but a little time.
Hmm.
And it's really, I'm really proud of him. And it's great to see how much time that he's taken to resolve this high blood pressure issues.
Yes, that's great. Congratulations to you, James Norman. Keep up the great work.
Well, let's go into in June. Kraft. Did you know that the Kraft Heinz? That's the people that make the ketchup and mustard and General Mills. They actually announced their plans to remove artificial colors and dyes and some products within the next 2 years. So it's not just going to be one group like General Mills or Kellogg's. It's going to be a few groups, including the Hershey company, the McCormick. McCormick is known, for all the seasonings. You'll remember, they're in that little white and red container. And then you have J.M. Smucker, which is Smucker jellies and preservatives. Nestle's, of course, the chocolate. All of these people all of these different companies are changing. So, hey, it's time to change. See, that's one thing that's going to happen, is guaranteed, and that's things will change. I wanted to talk a little bit about the people who eat the same old thing every day, all the time, never ever changes. Well, with the time that we have left, I want to share this with you. The people that eat the same meals almost every day are often creatures of habit. And that means that if they're eating something that is not toxic, but after you eat so much of it becomes toxic, they become their own enemy. It spills over into our aspects of their lives, that they may have daily routines to stick to religiously. And some of them feel like that. I eat oatmeal every day. I do this every day. Change it up, because this is one of the best ways to keep your body in balance, by changing it up. This trait isn't just about food, it spills over into other aspects in their lives. And they may have daily routines that they stick to religiously, or have some particular way of doing things that they rarely deviate from. Now, this consistent behavior can be linked to the need for control and predictability. Now, it reduces the number of decisions they've made, or they have to make up from day to day, freeing up their mental energy for other tasks. So every day, too much. Every other day, but every 2 or 3 days, mix it up. Mix it up, okay? So I'm going to definitely suggest to you to eat more. If you're eating, especially on the circadian rhythm diet, it's all about balance, all about balance. And I have appreciation for simplicity. It doesn't have to be some incredible something, but every time I prepare a dish in my home, is definitely a dish that is delicious, and something that I can grow from, something that my family can get healthier with, and it's something that's very important for us to take into or take charge of our life totally, and remember eating something every day again, you either increasing your risk of disease or you're decreasing your risk of disease. Let's go back up to Karen.
Thank you, Dr. Zarif. Thank you so much. Hey, Yolanda Rogers says, getting back, wasn't letting me respond earlier. Great topic as always. Appreciate you, Dr. Z. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for coming on back. Hey, what up, Joe? And good morning, all. Reverend Dr. Diva D. Coates. Hello to you.
Oh,
Good to see you.
oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I I have man, this is my Detroit family there. Yeah, I'm glad you all are there, and thanks you so much. Really, really just keeps us charged with a lot of positive vibes to share with you, and we're really, really happy that you're here. So thank you very much for being here. And what's Michelle's handle? I love you, Michelle, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, my favorite. Yeah, that's the code. I wish I would have thought about that. Yeah,
I thought
that's
you were
good.
talking about Michelle Franklin because she was here too. I know you.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, good. I didn't know that. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we got.
I know you got a lot going on, Dr. Zarif. You got all that information in your head. You got it. But yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We're going to be here next week. Carrie, you want to chime in there before we say goodbye?
Oh, yes, for sure. As always, next week, Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, we are here. We appreciate everyone that drops by to drop a comment, to say hello, give us thumbs up, and share. Those things are so important for us to continue to grow. And we don't take it lightly when you guys do those things. So we do appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that joined us here today. Dr. Zarif, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kara. Thank you very much for your being here and your energy also. I miss your laugh today, though. You didn't laugh that much today.
I did? Funny. Thought
No,
I
you're such a sweetheart. Uh, I'm going to say hello and also goodbye right now because it's that time. Thank you very much for listening in. I know sometimes it takes a lot of patience. There's a lot of things that we have to say, a lot of things that we want to share. So thank you for taking time to share your time with us. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.